Hey there! In this video I'm going to cover how to start teaching your horse Liberty from scratch and helping you through some common problems when doing Liberty. So if you're wanting to start Liberty with a horse who has never done it in its life, here's my advice. Start off with a head collar and lead rope. A lot of people dive straight into the deep end and then it all goes wrong. You need to set your horse up for success. I promise you it's not cheating to teach your horse how to do it first. Start in an enclosed space with as little distractions as possible. If there's loads of other horses or nice juicy grass, your horse is very likely to get distracted and focus on that instead. Start off by walking around with your horse on a loose-ish whip and with some sort of wavy whip in the other hand. Just a disclaimer, this is not to hit your horse with. The aim is for your horse to sort of stay close to you, sort of stay with you. And when you start walking a bit faster, wave the whip a little bit and or pull gently on the rope to encourage them to speed up with you. If they do even just one slightly faster step, stop and give them a treat or a scratch or both. This lets them know that, oh look, when my human sped up and I sped up too, or even just I thought about speeding up, I got rewarded. So that's how you tell them what you want. Something I always say is you can't teach a horse to understand our language, so we have to communicate with them in a way that they understand. Whoa, just almost fell off my chair. So then just slowly ask for more and more, from just half a step of speeding up and staying with you to eventually doing a whole lap of the arena or field, and yeah, just slowly build it up. The main thing to remember is always reward when they get it right, to let them know that that's what you want them to do. Okay, now for overcoming some common problems when doing Liberty. One is that your horse just always eats and you can't do it anywhere if there's any grass nearby, because they'll just go and eat that. So this is a problem that I've had with pretty much every single horse I've done Liberty with, and I think it's a really common problem. So here are my top tips. So obviously, to start with, maybe do it somewhere with less distractions to teach them the basics, and obviously make sure that they're not like starving before you do your session, because if they are super hungry then we can't really blame them for wanting to eat. But anyway, assuming that you've got a good base and that your horse isn't hungry, something that really helped me out was giving my horses an eating command. So basically, I have taught this to every horse that I have done Liberty with, and it is so useful. So basically what you do is you're in a field with grass, so I give them two commands. One is head up, so I just practice that when they're eating. I say head up, then I pull their head up, or you could like wave a whip kind of near their face, make sure to never hit them. Just do something to make them lift up their head, and then when they lift up their head, reward them and give them a treat. And if they try to put their head down, just gently correct them and tell them to lift it up again. Then once they understand that, then you can teach them a eating command, which will let them know, okay, you've done well, now you're allowed to eat, and like you won't get into any trouble, or just letting them know that they're allowed to eat. Which, how I did this was just say, okay, now you can eat, whilst kind of doing a downward motion with my hand and body towards the grass to let them know, okay, now you can have the grass. So another tip is to make sure, okay, I'm back. The camera died last time, so I'm finishing recording on a different day. So another tip is to make you more interesting than the grass. So by finding a super nice treat that they love, or some reward that they love even more than the grass, so that when they do choose to come and engage with you instead of eating grass, they get rewarded with that. And one more way, which is slightly more negative reinforcement, is literally just when they put their head down to eat, just correct them straight away, tell them to lift it up and say, no, you can't eat, you're doing this with me now. And some people even like make their horse trot a few circles on the lunge to like make it a negative experience eating grass. But I personally prefer the other options, but I will just put that in there just in case. Okay, another one is that your horse might be nippy or nibbly for treats whenever you have treats, so like you might feel like you can't use treats. This is so common, and I have made 2 previous videos on this topic, so definitely go check those out, but I will cover it slightly now as well. So the reality is, a horse's natural instinct is when they smell food, they go to eat. So it's your job to just teach them how to be polite about it, and you have to show them that actually they don't get a treat by being all in your space trying to bite the treat and get it out of your treat pouch or pocket, but by waiting patiently and doing what you ask is what gets them. So what I do if my horse is being nibbly, I just ignore it. I like hold my hand there, like over the treat pouch or my pocket or whatever, so that they can't eat it, and then the horse will either just lose interest and look somewhere else, and then you give them the treat when they stop like rummaging in your pocket, or if your horse is a bit more persistent, then you literally just push their head away, and then once you've pushed their head away, then you give them the treat when their head is away from your pocket or treat pouch. Okay, another one is that your horse maybe gets really excited and gallops off, or is like pushy, always barging in front of you, and then you can't really run around and play with them safely. This is another issue that I had with quite a lot of horses I've worked with, and my advice would just be to work on your slow command. So just start off literally at a walk, you stop, and they'll probably just keep walking a few steps. Or a common one is that they walk forward, or they sort of stop, but they like turn like towards you, so like they stop but they're like in front of you. So what I would do is just be walking, then ask them to stop, and quite firmly, maybe with like a wavy like lunge whip or something, like whack it down in front of them. Make sure to not hit them. You do not need to hit your horse in the face, but like, or maybe if you have a flag or something, like wave it in front of them, which they will see, and even if they back up a few steps back to where you asked them to stop, then once they are stood where you asked them to stand, then you give them a treat, and just repeat this until you just stop and they stop next to you without you having to wave something in front of them to back them up back to where you asked them to stand. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any more questions, then feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will make sure to get back to you. If you could please consider subscribing, liking this video, or watching any of my other videos, that would help me out so much, as I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel and it's completely free on your end, and I would just appreciate it so much. But if not, then anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!